Hello again, it's Noob, and today we get to look at two very similar but slightly different 2-in-1, or should I say 3-in-1 lockpick tools for the Yale Platinum and Yale Superior dimple locks. Now many of you will be very familiar with the Yale Superior and the Platinum locks. They are dimple sliders. They are, I believe, very similar to the Malenko Magnum locks as well. And they differ only by a small amount in their position of the sliders. Now the number of pins in these types of locks do vary, I believe, from I think 5 to 9 pins, depending on the length of the plug. But they are very, very similar, but they do have a variance in where the sliders are in the lock. The Platinum actually has a slightly shorter, can you see that, slider track than the Superior. And these locks normally require picking the pins followed by picking the sliders. Now, a lot of dimple lock picks only do one of those two things. So this is for it's a generic brand ISO R6 dimple lock pick, and you'll see that it only picks the pins, not the sliders, which you can probably just about make out the tops of the sliders in the lock here and here. So normally when picking these locks and you've picked the pins and you have to then pick the sliders, you have to use, I know, like a pick which can get in there and just turn into the tips of the little sliders in the lock. That means you have to withdraw your dimple picking tool and go in with a separate tool. These 3-in-1 Yale Platinum and Yale Superior lock picks operate in a very similar way, but with one big difference, and that is there is an inbuilt slider pick, there we go, attached to the tool, and it still acts as a decoder. You can see here we've got the, you can just see that, you can see the pin cut positions here, you see the slider cut positions on the body of the pick, or the handle if you like. And for full disclosure, these two 3-in-1 lock picks were kindly lent to me by ukbumpkeys.com. It's not a paid review, all thoughts on my own as always. So using a tool like this really isn't much different from using any sort of 2-in-1 pick. You just put the tool in, you would turn, well, I like to turn clockwise because the flag is picking anti-clockwise. Just makes it a lot easier to feel the spool pins inside these locks. And then once you've picked the pins and you go into what looks like a very, very deep falset, you can go in there and then just pick the sliders, which can be a bit tricky. There is not a lot of room between the core and the slider itself, so it can feel a bit sticky, but it really does work surprisingly well. And I think that means I have to demonstrate. So first up, we'll pick this Yale Superior, and as I mentioned earlier, this has the longer slider track. If you notice on the tool itself, the sliders are kind of equally spaced. And what we will do, of course, is put this into the lock all the way down, turn it clockwise so that we can use this little, well, pick handle, I guess, and decoder to turn the little flag anti-clockwise into the pins. We'll start with the slider pick at the hold position. You'll notice that if you don't, then as you move the flag, you'll sometimes interfere with this tip, and it's just not ideal. So you want to keep this out of the way until everything's picked. That's what the hold means. Pop the tip down to where it says hold as well. So when you're doing one pick, then you put the other one into hold and vice versa. So slide this in. We'll then tension the lock, and all we're going to do is literally just go along, and we're going to try to see what is binding. Like I think actually pin, well, it says 1 here because we number it from the back, and that looks like it's binding. So we'll just give a little click there, like that, and it feels like something's moved. We'll move on to the next position, and these little cuts here guide the tip of the tool here, and that feels like it might be binding too. I'm going to leave it there. Next one, little click maybe. Next one, nothing. Next one, nothing. Next one, no, wasn't happy with that. Nothing. Just check this one. That feels set. So go back to the last pin. Pin 1, nothing. Pin 2, binding. Nice big click there. Pin 3, nothing. Pin 4, nothing. 5 feels like it's binding. No, I think it's set. 6, nothing. 7, nothing. And there aren't an 8 and 9 pin in this. I think it's only a 7 pin lock, this one. So just keep going through. Go click there. And I'd say this isn't like a magic key. You still need to know what pin states you're feeling for. And I'll click there. That was on pin 7. Another pin binding. Oh, and we've gone into what feels like a very deep falset. So from this, I like to then put this in the hold position and then just go along and just slide. Oh, just by sliding the slider down, slider pick down, we have an open, which is very cool. Look at that. So this works really nicely. So next up, we'll look at this Yale Platinum 3-star lock. This one is a full 9-pin lock with a really nice bitting, shorter slider track, and you'll see that on the pick itself, the actual sliders are not as far spaced apart, nor are they equidistantly spaced. There's a gap between 2 and 3. Very interesting. So put the flag on hold, put the slider tip on hold. We'll pop this in like this into the lock. There we go. And we'll again tension clockwise. And we're just going to go along, see what we get. So we'll start with the first pin, which is here. Pin 1, and it's binding, so let's gently move that up. Pin 2, binding. Nothing on 3, springy. 4, springy. 5, binding a little bit. Anything on 6? No. 7, no. 8, no. 9, no. Okay, so we'll just go back to 1. Nice click. 2, better click. Nothing on 3. Nothing on 4. Nothing on 5. 6 feels fine. 7 maybe, a little click. Nothing on 8. Anything on 9? No, that feels fine. Back to 1 again. 1, 2. Click 3, nothing. 4, nothing. 5, anything? No. 6. Oh, that felt really good. Anything on 7? No. 8, no. 9, no. So it must be something back here. Let's try pin 1 again. Yes, it's pin 1. And that feels like we are now resting on these sliders. Just go back through. It's really easy to just test everything. Feels like it's all binding. Put it on hold. Now we've got the slider. And this can be a bit troublesome to slide back and forth, but we'll get there. So let's go to slider 4. Nice click. 3 feels fine. 2 now. Binding. Nice. Make sure that's still on hold. Back to 4. Just try and get it past. It can be a bit tight past these pins. 2 now. Again. And just go back through again. Just to make sure that we are keeping that on hold there. This can be a bit tricky. Some of these sliders need picking a couple of times. That feels good. That feels good. And just trying to get, there you go, 2 here. Feels fine. That feels fine. 4 again. And like I said, you might need to pick these slides just a couple, oh, we got it. Just a couple more times. It can be a bit tricky, so bear with it. If they feel like they're binding, just click them and you'll get there. And again, we'll do that full 360. So there you go. I really hope you enjoyed seeing those demos of the Yale Platinum and Yale Superior picks and decoders. I really like using these. I think it's time to do some conclusions. Now, the first thing I want to say is, are these really 3-in-1s? Is the 2-in-1 referring to the fact that it can turn, tension the lock and pick? And therefore, is it a 3-in-1 because it can turn, pick and pick the sliders? Or is it a 2-in-1 because you can pick and decode? In which case, it's either a 2-in-1 or a 3-in-1, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. But it doesn't matter. The fact is, it is a pick and decoder, and it has a dimple pin pick and a slider pick all in one. I don't think I've ever seen that before in one dimple pick tool. If I'm not correct, if you know of other ones, please do let me know in the comments down below. I love to find out new information, especially on lockpicking tools, because I'm, well, a bit of an addict, aren't I? I really like these. Things I like about it are the fact that it is a full pick. You don't need to remove the tool to pick the sliders separately. This you put in, you pick the pins, you pick the sliders. It works on any sort of pinning from, I guess, 1 pin all the way up to 9. Like I said, I think they vary from 5 to 9 pins. So it makes sense that the numbering is 1 to 9 back to front. The little slider pick is good. It can feel a little bit sticky. So you've got to make sure that when you push it down the keyway, you're not going along these lines. If you look here, you want it to slide down the side of the sliders like that. So you want to be really sliding it just above that 1 like that. So you want to make sure that you're not sort of pushing it straight down the middle of the lock, hitting the sliders themselves. You want to get behind them. Now that can be a bit tricky, but you just ease off the tension a tiny bit and then push and you will get there. But yeah, it's really nice. Other things I like about this, it seems to be really well made, very precise. Now, you know, the welding might be a bit rough in some places, but also really neat in others. And I don't know, the sort of tolerances used here and the precision, really quite impressive. What I even like is you can see how the flag itself is actually bent. So you can see it's just bent, so it can slide sort of through the warding of the lock. So if I get there, you can see that there's some warding just here, and that flag like that can actually, can you see? Let's see if I can get it in focus for you. It's actually quite difficult. But you can see how the flag itself has a little groove in which slides underneath that piece of warding. Again, it's a really nice bit of thought that went into this. So everything about this just seems to work, and it seems to work very precisely and very nicely. It isn't a magic key. However, I would say, you know, you still need some knowledge of locks, how they work, what they feel like when they are in a false set. If they're not binding, if they are binding, all those kind of things. You need to know what you're doing with the sliders and how they feel as well. So you do have to be familiar with lock picking, and especially picking dimple locks with pins and sliders, I think, to get the most out of a tool like this. And also, it's a professional tool and it's quite expensive. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a con. It costs what it costs, and they sell it for, I guess, what they can sell it for. But this is £168.75, not including shipping, import duties, all that kind of stuff, depending on the region. This is just the list price on the website at the time of filming, and prices and exchange rates and all those kind of things will change, which is, so £168.75 is around 224 US dollars and 50 cents or thereabouts. So these are not particularly cheap tools, but they seem to work really well. I think they're well made, they're very robust, they seem to be made with a good degree of precision, and once you have tried them out a few times, you'll be surprised how much fun you have with these. I think I had a lot of fun with these. Do I need them in my collection as a hobbyist? No, probably not. As a locksmith, I can definitely see these being useful because these are very common locks, especially in the UK. I really like seeing little innovations in lockpicks, and I just like this sort of 3-in-1 design. Really, really do. Now, do you need both picks? Well, it depends what you want to use them for. It looks like, and I could be wrong, that the pin positioning for the dimple flag part is actually about the same. You seem to hit the pins no matter whether it's the superior, or that's platinum, I think, or the superior, this one. But what is critical is that these sliders here are different positions. So it can be quite difficult to feel where the sliders are with this tool. So technically, I guess you could probably pick a superior with the platinum and the platinum with the superior, but you will be thrown off a little bit by the position of the sliders. So I found it more difficult to feel where the sliders were as opposed to the pins. And you can see that these are in very different positions, but both of the flags could easily pick all the sliders in both locks. There's nothing stopping it from what I can tell, apart from the fact that decoding it would be, again, a bit trickier because you'd be off on your positions and things. So just bear that in mind as well. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think to these tools. Do you like them? Do you have a need for them? Do you want to play with them? Do you want to have a go using one? Whatever your thoughts are, please leave your comments down below. I do read them all and reply to as many as I can. If you haven't subscribed and want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. Hit that like. It all really helps me out. I really do appreciate it. You can also smash that notification bell if you want to be notified for when I next have some videos out. And of course, stay safe, happy picking, and I'll see you all next time.